Family Movie Night, where we'll be talking about what we watch for Family Movie Night. My name is Mike, and today we are talking about Toy Story 2. Now, the reason why we're talking about Toy Story 2 is that Toy Story 5 is coming out later this summer. And I figured now's a good time to start revisiting some of these movies because we've got some kids' movies coming out this summer. The main ones are Toy Story 2, or Toy Story 5, rather. We've also got what is it, a live action Moana. So we'll probably revisit both Moanas and a lot of the live action Disney movies as well. And then in addition to that, we've got another Minions movie. So unfortunately, I'm going to probably want to talk about a lot of the other Minions movies, and then Coyote and Acme at the end of the summer as well. Plus, I suppose always fun to point out that we've got another Paw Patrol movie, but let's start with Toy Story. So Toy Story 2 takes place 4 years after the original Toy Story. This is Pixar's third movie, and the premise of this is when Woody is stolen by a toy collector, Buzz and his friends set out on a rescue mission to save Woody before he becomes a museum toy property with his Roundup gang, Jesse Prospector, and Bullseye. Most of the cast from the original Story are still here. So Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Don Rickles, Jim Varney, Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger, and Annie Potts are all here. But then some of the new players here, we've got Wayne Knight as Al, and then we've also got Joan Cusack as Jesse and Kelsey Grammer as the prospector. Those are some of our newer people here. So overall, Toy Story 2 is a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle, and it's enthusiastic thumbs up. Dare I say, Toy Story 2 might be my favorite Toy Story. And the reason why is because the way that Toy Story 2 expands the lore, it gives Woody a little bit more of a backstory and kind of focuses him up as not only the main character, but as the true protagonist, whereas he wasn't really the protagonist of the first Toy Story. But I think what I enjoy quite a bit about Toy Story 2 is the emotional depth it goes to, specifically with that when somebody loved me scene with Jesse. The backstory there is just heartbreaking, and it's just a great way to show kids and even adults as well is that hey, when you have when a toy gets left behind, or in this case rather gets donated, the psychological effect that that has on somebody is pretty devastating. So I think that's something I really enjoyed. Plus, also the addition of Jesse and Bullseye in particular. They're great additions to the crew, and they're among some of the best new characters that gets added to the franchise as a whole. Because I think Jesse is just one of my favorite characters in general. I also do like the addition of Mrs. Potato Head as well. I think she's one of my favorite characters from this franchise as well. So this goes off the rails a little bit, but it's still enjoyable, and there's still a lot of amazing stuff that's going on in this movie, like everything with Buzz and just everything where he encounters another Buzz Lightyear toy and just everything that he does there. Everything with Zurg as well, I think is pretty great. Just the whole rescue mission in general, where they're trying to save Woody from Al's Toy Barn, or at least Al's Toy Barn's owner's apartment. This is our first introduction to Barbie in this universe as well. A voice to perfection by Jodie Benson, who's amazing in this. So this to me is just one of those movies that the sequel is pretty incredible. This expands the lore. It increases the relationships among all of these toys. They introduce some pretty great characters. This is also the movie where I also feel like this started to jump the shark a little bit, even though there's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day, but I still enjoy it quite a bit. When, like, the scene where the toys are crossing the road, we're just dipping our toes into that. And even when the toys are driving as well, that's crazy. But the whole sequence, even at the airport, where the toys are hopping around from place to place in order to get to where they need to be to rescue Woody from the Prospector. I haven't even mentioned that the Prospector is, just an outstanding villain as well. He represents like a toy that just his never got his time in the sun because he's one of those toys that just does nobody's really interested in playing with. So I think that this movie, among being like like an outstanding sequel to this already amazing franchise, I think that this is among one of Pixar's best movies that they've ever done. So what did I learn from Toy Story 2? I learned that toys can make you cry, and this story or this franchise will continue to make me cry. Maybe not the fourth one as much, but definitely Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 definitely gave me the feels. That friendship evolves, and I think the friendship between Woody and Buzz definitely evolved in this, but then also how new friends can, kind of continue to enrich friendships as well. And your legacy is not defined by just one thing. It is defined by not only the way that people remember you, but the way that you want to be remembered as well. Where Woody would rather be remembered as Andy's toy as opposed to being part of this Roundup crew. And I think that there's something really admirable to that. So those are my thoughts on Toy Story 2. It's my favorite Toy Story. I really enjoy it. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. That's going to do it for this episode of Family Movie Night. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you've got any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at HiFlyerCreative.com. Check out our list on Letterboxd at MLHilty2452 and follow our list labeled Family Movie Night. Check out the other shows on our network. We've got a lot of great content. Really proud of the work that everyone's doing. So please check out the other shows and support the SPDM crew. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.